No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Monday Night Raw for Monday, February 13th, 2023. Elimination Chamber is this coming Saturday. This was the final Raw until that premium live event, which will be in Montreal, Canada. Looking forward to that. Shout out to the early birds, Alistair, Gomer Kyle, K-Dog28, Calvin Bowman, Don Bowen, Joey Perez, Darren G, Mohammed, Matthew, Matt Helms, Shane Bannon. Thank you all for tuning in early. I very much appreciate it. Now, let's get into this recap. We kicked off the show with a promo because that's how WWE rolls. Becky Lynch in the ring with Adam Pearce. Becky said it felt great to beat Bayley last week in the steel cage match, gave a shout out to Lita, but there's an issue. Becky said that her path to WrestleMania is not clear. She wants an opportunity to enter the Elimination Chamber, even though it's technically full with 6 participants. Of course, Bayley arrived. She wanted to be in the chamber match, brought up how Becky already lost to Bianca at WrestleMania last year. Bayley said she has successfully defended each women's championship on different nights of WrestleMania. Becky said she won both of them in one night. They went back and forth. Bianca Belair showed up and basically wanted to fight both of them. She wants the best competition at WrestleMania. So Adam Pearce suggested a triple threat match. If Becky or Bayley won, they would be added to Elimination Chamber as a 7th participant. However, if Bianca won, neither of them would be added to the match. Little interesting segment here to perhaps take the match in a different direction. Certainly, Becky Lynch or Bayley winning and being added to the chamber would make the match a little bit more unpredictable. And that was set up for the main event of the evening. So stay tuned for the results of that. We had our first match of the evening, which was Judgment Day versus the Street Profits. Crowd was chanting, "We want mommy," at Dominic Mysterio, who was there on the outside of the ring. It was Damian Priest and Finn Balor in the match. Profits had some early momentum. They did the Doomsday Blockbuster, but Balor kicked out of it. And then Dominic got on the apron. Dawkins brought him into the ring. Balor, of course, took advantage, hit the coup de grace, and pinned Dawkins. Basically, stupid babyface. Why do you bring in Dominic? Just let him stay out there. Ignore him. What's he going to do? If he gets in the ring and attacks you, you win the match. Stupid, stupid, stupid babyface. So I was not really a fan of this finish. Makes Dawkins look like a complete idiot. And then after the match, Damian Priest attacked Ford, which makes sense because Ford is one of the Elimination Chamber participants. Edge and Beth Phoenix ran down to make the save. Beth hit a clothesline to Condom, but then Rhea Ripley came in. She was allegedly still on her vacation, traveling the world, but it was a swerve this week. She attacked Beth Phoenix, hit her with the Riptide, and Judgment before the premium live event. What do I think is going to happen? Stay tuned for our predictions video for Elimination Chamber, which will be this Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, the old no DQ review time slot. That will be when we do predictions for the Chamber. Next up, we had the Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley contract signing. which was a nice change of pace because the match was not officially announced. Brock Lesnar was in the ring with Adam Pearce, wanted to get this over with, but Bobby Lashley brought out security. Bobby Lashley sat at a table by the stage, said he's in the driver's seat, and he had his people look at the contract. Even his kids looked at the contract. Bobby Lashley did not get in the ring, though. Brock Lesnar kept telling him to get in the ring. Crowd started chanting, "Bobby's scared." Lesnar left the ring, took out the security. Lashley then hit Lesnar with a spear and finally signed the contract. I'm a little surprised that Lashley did not have some kind of stipulation with all this hype about him wanting to look at the contract. You would think he would be out there saying, you know what, I'll do the match, but I want a little something added to this, since Brock Lesnar had already signed the contract. Although I suppose Lesnar could say, well, I agreed to certain terms, but of course, Lesnar being a babyface would be like, whatever, we'll do your terms. Anyways, I feel like I was expecting more out of this. Like, I'm not going to lower the show grade because of the contract signing, since it actually made sense for once. Building Nexus with a $2 super chat. This is interesting. How about a Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley fight pit match at WrestleMania? I like that. And I'm also wondering what happens if Brock Lesnar wins. Where does he go after this? And if Bobby Lashley wins, is there going to be another rematch? Like, this is the rubber match, but something tells me this is not the last match. And, you know, there's all this talk about the Hurt Business reuniting. What if the Hurt Business costs Brock Lesnar and then they have to do the fight pit match at WrestleMania? It would still make it 2 versus 2, or 2 for 2, I should say, if Lashley won at the Chamber pay-per-view and then Brock Lesnar won at WrestleMania. And as JDP mentioned on Twitch, maybe Brock Lesnar just takes off WrestleMania. I don't think he will. I think that's unlikely. I think it's more likely Hurt Business reunites before WrestleMania and they do one more match. I mean, what else do you do with these guys for WrestleMania? That's why I was surprised that they even announced it for the Chamber. That definitely threw me off. But I feel like, Brock Lesnar, clearly the babyface, and Bobby Lashley moving in that heel direction, them chanting Bobby's scared and all that, I feel that the heel turn is officially coming pretty soon. We had Piper Niven versus Jeff Meechin. Almost a squash match here. I mean, Meechin did get in a little bit of offense. She got in quite a bit, actually, but that made it even more obvious that she was losing this one. She eventually got caught, and Piper hit the, I want to say, boss woman slam, the old big boss man move. Abyss did it too. I guess it's called the Loch Ness Slam for Piper Niven, and she got the win. So Jeff Meechin doing the JOB here, putting over Piper Niven. Not much to say about it. Pretty basic match here. We had a recap of the Bloodline storyline, and then we had Baron Corbin, who was interviewed, but he was quickly cut off because Sami Zayn showed up in the ring, and he basically called out Cody Rhodes to the ring. Cody, of course, showed up, and Zayn wanted to hear it from Cody directly. Does Cody believe that Sami Zayn can beat Roman Reigns? Cody said yes. What he said, he meant it. Crowd was loving this, by the way. They were wanting to see these two go at it at WrestleMania. They were chanting, "This is awesome." Cody said it doesn't matter what he believes, though. It's what Zayn believes. Crowd was doing the Olay chant, and Sami Zayn said he doesn't know if he can beat Roman Reigns because he's been in the trenches. He knows that they can get the job done. Roman Reigns is as good as he says he is. Zayn brought up how guys bigger and stronger than him have gone down to the tribal chief. But yes, he believes he is capable of beating Roman Reigns. He's capable of main eventing WrestleMania, but he still doesn't know if he can walk out of the chamber as the champion. Crowd was chanting, "You can do it," at him. And Cody said, it seems like everybody knows Sami can do it. And Cody brought up how there is dissension in the first time with the bloodline because of Sami Zayn. Rhodes said that he's finishing his story, and at Elimination Chamber, Sami Zayn needs to finish his. And Rhodes finished the promo by saying he doesn't want to see Zayn on Raw next week. He wants to see Zayn at WrestleMania. This was a fantastic promo. Great stuff here from these guys. Both of them top-tier mic work. And yeah, when this was over, I kind of want to see these guys in a match. But it felt a lot like best comparison 1999 when Mick Foley was on the verge of facing Steve Austin at WrestleMania, but then of course The Rock won back the WWE title. But they were teasing like maybe it would be Austin versus Mankind at WrestleMania, the two good guys going at it, but it wasn't meant to be. And that's what I think is going to happen here. But definitely this promo was very effective in making people sympathetic to both guys and making Cody an ally of Sami Zayn instead of a competitor for the fans' affection at WrestleMania. Definitely thought it was an effective segment. Then we had a little bit of a backstage segment here with Asuka's team. There was going to be a 6-woman tag team match, and Nikki Cross was acting crazy. Candice LeRae showed up and wanted to know why Nikki has been stalking her, and Nikki just laughed. And then Nikki ran to the ring for the 6-woman tag team match. But before we get to that, we had Baron Corbin re-interviewed, and he said he's better off without JBL. He said JBL's a has-been, and now it's time for him to remind people who he is. Then we had Cody Rhodes showing up in the background. Corbin started insulting Sami Zayn, saying Roman Reigns will destroy Sami Zayn at the Chamber, and then said that Cody will also be destroyed. He was ripping into Cody, and then he said that Cody's brother is a joke, and this is the one you especially don't do, Cody's dad was a joke. And that's when, of course, Cody Rhodes attacked Baron Corbin. You do not tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit in the wind, and you don't insult Dusty Rhodes. You get a Cody Rhodes ass kicking. Cody fought with Corbin to the ring and wanted a match. He called in a referee, and there was officially a match. They brawled on the outside for a little bit. Pretty straightforward win here for Cody. He hit the Cody cutter, hit one crossroads, and got the win. That's how far Corbin has declined. Corbin is losing to one crossroads. Poor Baron Corbin. I mean, I feel bad for him, but at the same time, I don't. The guy has just been saddled with so much crap. It's been hard for him to overcome it to the point where people just don't give a shit about Baron Corbin anymore. So then we had the 6-woman match with the Elimination Chamber participants. Like I said, Nikki Cross ran to the ring right past Carmella. Not a whole lot to say about this one. It broke down pretty quickly. Everybody was brawling. The baby faces cleared the ring. I guess Asuka's technically a heel. She was on the heel side. Then during the commercial break, Carmella hit Natalya with a super kick. Liv Morgan got a hot tag, but then Asuka tagged in, and then Asuka, for whatever reason, turned against her partners, Nikki Cross and Carmella. She suplexed Carmella, and then Asuka tapped out Liv Morgan. They basically buried everybody in this match except for Asuka. Like, if Asuka doesn't win the Chamber, this was really awful booking because everybody looked weak here except for Asuka. Asuka has to be winning this match now, right? Like, otherwise this made no sense whatsoever because you made everybody look like prelim wrestlers compared to Asuka. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Much appreciated. Says, today in history, 1997, Shawn Michaels relinquished the WWE title on Monday Night Raw after he, quote, lost his smile. That was Thursday, Raw Thursday. Hard to believe that was, how long, 25 years ago? Yikes. Where has the time gone? I remember watching that one live. That was quite the unexpected moment. Backstage, we had the Maximum Male Models, and they wanted Otis to join their agency. This is a dumb comedy angle, but I guess you have to keep MMM around doing something for whatever reason. Gable thought that he was the one being asked, but of course it was Otis. That was the punchline. Whatever. I thought this was dumb. I feel bad because Otis and Gable should be doing something better than this. Good old JM Jeff Meacham with a little plug for Talk Wrestling. Thank you, Jeff, for the super chat. Says, talk anything tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. There you go. Talk anything with good old JM Jeff Meacham, not Meachin. And Robbie sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Robbie. I hope you're doing okay. Says, nothing but love for No DQ. Keep up the good work. Much appreciated, Robbie. Hopefully we can talk again on the No DQ review, and hopefully I'll see you in person soon. I have no idea what's going on with Otis, but like, I was starting to enjoy Gable and Otis as a serious babyface tag team. Why are they doing this comedy shit with MMM? I don't know. MMM is nothing without LA Knight, by the way. Like, it was entertaining with LA Knight. Granted, I think he's doing a lot better with himself now as LA Knight, although the Pitch Black match did not help him out too much. But still, he really made that as good as it was going to be. And now without him, like, what's the point? We had Bronson Reed versus Mustafa Ali, and Ali continues to be the unofficial punching bag of WWE. But you know what? He's doing his job well. He's selling for the monsters. And yeah, once again, Bronson Reed looking like a badass. Bronson beat the crap out of Ali, threw Ali over the barricade into the office chair, the announcer chair at ringside, and that looked brutal. Ali kept fighting, though. He was hanging in there, but eventually he got turned inside out with a clothesline, and then Bronson Reed picked up the win with the tsunami. And the crowd's getting into Bronson. Like, I feel like he's one of the few guys that have been brought back that actually feels like he's building momentum. You know, Karrion Kross, not really. Dexter Lumis, no. Hit Row, hell no. But Bronson Reed, so far, like, I feel like he has legitimate momentum. Of all the people that have been brought back, like, he has to be up there as far as guys that seem to have some potential to succeed. The others, not so much. Moving on here, we had Elias backstage. Oh, wait, before we get to that, I'm jumping ahead here. We had Miz TV with special guest Seth Freakin Rollins. Miz vented about not being in the chamber, and then Rollins came out, and Miz was really being the instigator. Miz was bringing up Logan Paul, and Rollins did not want to talk about Logan Paul. Rollins just wanted to hear his song, and Miz was annoyed because the fans kept singing it. And eventually, Miz brought up Logan so many times, Rollins had enough and said what he's been saying in interviews as of late, that he wants to be there. He said even the Miz wants to be there, but Logan Paul doesn't. Logan Paul is selfish and soulless and needs his teeth kicked in. And Miz started getting angry because Rollins called him stupid and the crowd was agreeing with Rollins. Miz brought up how he actually headlined WrestleMania, something Rollins may never do because of Logan Paul. And then Miz started to make fun of Rollins' shoes. Rollins had these big red shoes, and I got the shirt on here. Miz actually mentioned Super Mario, saying that they're going to get Luigi and the princess to help out Seth Rollins. And he even referenced Mario Kart. And that's when Rollins attacked Miz. You had Austin Theory showing up to jump Seth Rollins, but Rollins was able to fight off both of them. Rollins hit a super kick to the Miz, and then he hit the curb stop while wearing the Super Mario boots, the shoes, whatever you want to call them. That was pretty cool. Like, this is a segment I'll remember for a while. But then, of course, Austin Theory came back in, hit the A-Town down on Seth freaking Rollins. Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. Says, no DQ Galaxy, like, share this video on all social media platforms. Say yes to no DQ. Hashtag stick to my shtick. And he says, I guess Seth versus Paul at WrestleMania is kind of obvious now. Yeah, I mean, I'm almost certain that's the WrestleMania match, and Austin Theory versus John Cena. It's just a matter of who's going to be the U.S. champion. But again, for my prediction, you guys will have to tune in this Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, for no DQ predictions for Elimination Chamber. Now we get to Elias and Rick Boogs backstage. MVP Hurt Business were in the background. They continue to tease the reunion. Elias basically wished Boogs luck in his match against The Miz and said maybe one day they could collaborate. Little teaser for the future, perhaps. So anyways, Miz was recovered by the time Boogs got to the ring, but Miz insulted Boogs, called him a meathead, said the match was not going to happen. So, of course, the match did start. The bell rang. Boogs did a bunch of curls holding the Miz. Crowd chanted along. And then Boogs picked up the Miz with a press slam and got the 1-2-3 victory. And yeah, once again, making short work of the Miz. But hey, Miz got hit with the Super Mario stomp. So yeah, he was far from 100%. Seth Rollins sent in a $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Seth. Much appreciated. Says, can I be the first to proclaim my love of fandom for Rick Boogs? He's got a cadence to him that reminds me of the wrestlers of old. Hashtag put the belt on him. Hashtag push him to the moon. What the hell happened to Cameron Grimes, by the way? He sure disappeared quickly. Maybe after WrestleMania, we'll see him debut on Raw or SmackDown. Yeah, Rick Boogs is like a throwback to an 80s wrestler. Kind of has Ultimate Warrior vibes. But a better wrestler than the Ultimate Warrior. He's got that going for him at least. Yeah, he is like a throwback to an old school 80s meathead type of wrestler. But I like him. And it's a nice change of pace. If he's the only one, that makes him stand out, you know? I think there's room for one old school 80s style wrestler in WWE. Like, if they had a bunch of them, probably would not be a good thing. But hey, I think there's room for one. So let Boogs do the throwback gimmick. It's entertaining. I just wish he had Nakamura with him, and I wish he was on SmackDown. Pat McAfee always made Boogs seem like a bigger star than he was. Like, McAfee just reacted to him every time and showed that emotion. Like, it was cool. I miss it. And Calvin says he's the new Rick Rude. Well, he's just called Rick, and he's got the mustache. Really, those are the only similarities, but he's jacked. He's like a jacked Rick Rude he's kind of like, he looks like Rick Rude, Freddie Mercury, and he's built like the Ultimate Warrior. Best way you can describe him. We had Chelsea Green backstage, once again venting to Adam Pearce. She wanted to be in the chamber match, but Adam Pearce just walked off on her, and that was that for Chelsea this week. We had a Elimination Chamber video package. An Elimination Chamber video package. And then we had the main event triple threat match. Bianca Belair versus Bayley versus Becky Lynch. And early on, all three were going at it. Back and forth here with the three ladies. Bianca was using her strength. Bayley tried to keep Becky out of the match, threw her into the barricade. But then Becky started to build up momentum, took out both Bayley and Bianca with a DDT. And during the commercial break, we had the Damage Control members, Io Sky and Dakota Kai, at ringside. And everyone could see this coming, that they would interfere, which they did. Bayley tried to cheat using her feet on the ropes. Becky hit the manhandle slam to Bayley, but then Damage Control pulled out Becky. Bianca Belair went for the EST, but then Damage Control got involved. They interfered once again. Bayley with a roll-up, but Bianca was able to kick out. And then we had the other Elimination Chamber participants, the ones that actually got qualified for the match. They ran down. There was a huge brawl with everybody. Bianca sent Io, slammed her to the outside onto the rest of the field. And then Bianca Belair hit the KOD on Becky Lynch, sending Becky right onto Bayley. Bianca then pinned Bayley to win the match. So yeah, neither Bayley nor Becky advanced to Elimination Chamber, which I never expected them in the match in the first place. But yeah, I mean, we got this tease that they would be added, and well, they were not. So I know some people were disappointed with that. It was a little bit of a flat ending. You know, they showed the graphics for all the matches, and Bianca was just celebrating, and that was the end of Raw. So yeah, ending was a little lackluster, I have to admit. Rest of the show, though, was pretty good. Overall, I would give Raw a solid B. Good show, some good build-up for the Chamber match. Loved the Cody Sami Zayn segment. That was the highlight of the show, in my opinion. Walter Cruz sent in a $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Walter. Thank you to everybody that sent in super chats tonight. Much appreciated. Walter says Theory should retain the title, then do the open challenge, but rigs it. He beats shitty local talent, and Cena gets tired of it because he sees the Theory is obviously trolling him, and that sets up WrestleMania. You know what? That's a really solid idea because let's face it, John Cena's probably not doing much until WrestleMania, if anything. He's got his movie, and that's going to be shooting into March. Apparently, they did film something with them. But yeah, that would make sense. That would be a good way to build up the match without Cena actually showing up. Austin Theory can do the challenges, and then eventually, maybe on the go-home show, Cena can appear and set up the match. You even don't need to announce Cena. You could just say WrestleMania Austin Theory Open Challenge, and that's when John Cena accepts. But yeah, they could definitely do something like that and build up the match without Cena actually having to be there. So yeah, good Raw this week. Not the best go-home show, but it was solid. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Raw. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe over at youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Much love to everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy your week. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest wrestling news and rumors. And say yes to NoDQ.com. I will see you all next time.